So, hello everybody. Today I'm joined by Chris. Chris, thank you for taking some time today. Could you do a little quick intro of who you are and what it is that you do?
Yeah, sure. I'm Chris Turner. I'm a life coach. I specialize in helping spiritual professionals who are feeling a bit stuck, lost their way, looking for new direction.
Nice. Cool. Glad to have you here. So, a bit of context for the audience. It's been a while since we first met. I think we met, our first ever call was the back end of November, I remember. And then I think we got started in December or right at the start of December, right at the end of November. So, yeah, it's been a long time. So, I thought it'd be good to check in, see how you've been getting on. So, I guess kick us off then, Chris. So, when we first met, I guess what was your main frustration? What was the main thing that you were really looking for help with at that point in time?
So, some clue about what to do. I was, I was just, I'd been a coach doing pro bono work for a charity for a number of years, alongside a day job.
Yeah.
And the back end of last year decided that the day job had to come to an end and that I was just going to concentrate on coaching
Mm.
and read one or two books about how you get clients. And Years ago, I'd used Bark to try and get clients, which was pretty unsuccessful, certainly not in terms of making any money out of it. So I was clueless about how to really go out there and effectively market. And
Yeah.
I was hunting for more than inspiration. I was hunting for guidance,
Mm.
and that's what led me to you.
Cool. And so I guess what was your feeling like? How would you describe how you felt at the time then around lead generation, sales, and yeah, how to find clients? Full stop.
I I think, as I said, clueless. Did not know what to do. Did I I dipped my toe in the water with boosting Instagram ads a few years ago. It was just pointless because I had no follow up, I had no strategy, I had no plan
Yeah.
for it, and it was just like money going to Meta, and it's gone.
Yeah.
What happened there? Nothing happened there. So I was a blank piece. My marketing strategy was a blank piece of paper, and I needed it filling up.
Mm. Makes sense. Okay. And so I'm going to test your memory a bit now, but what in the moment, like when we had that first conversation, what ended up making you decide to go ahead and start working together at that time?
I I'd pretty much made up my mind before the call, actually,
Okay.
that we were going to work together. You'd already given me an indication as to roughly what the sort of price point was going to be. So
Yeah.
I was kind of I'd adjusted to that,
Yeah.
got my wife's buy-in, very importantly. Um, but what it was testimonials of people who were not saying I made £1 gazillion this week thanks to Alexi and here's my Lambo. It was it was just it was good money, but it was sort of sensible, realistic money that people
Yeah.
were making, and they seemed credible people. So that's what it was. And I wanted I didn't I'm not sure I didn't necessarily stung, but you sometimes listen to some of the big boys out there on social media land, and they promise big numbers, and
Mm.
you just think that's not. It might work, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's a minority of the time, and actually, it's almost a bit pointless, really, because
Mm.
you've got to make some sort of investment, time as well as money. But yeah, I mean, it was your testimonials were just much more just credible, normal coaches
Yeah.
looking like they were doing a good job. They were like good people, and I thought that's the kind of the steering that I need
Mm. Okay.
to
Cool.
replicate that.
Cool. And yeah, I mean, it feels like it's that time's gone so fast, but it also feels like
Mm.
light years away at the same time. So I guess share with us, so since our time working together, now that we've got it all in place, up and running, it's been going for a good few months now. What sort of results have you seen over our time working together?
I I've had 15 paid clients booking on
Nice.
with me. Um, some of them have been sort of rolling clients, so we haven't had that many sessions.
Yeah.
And some of them have been sort of a full package of sort of 3 to 4 months.
Nice.
Um, so it's yeah, I mean, I I guess hand on heart, I would have liked to have been where I am now. I would have liked to have been a month or two ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So I'd like to be further ahead than where I am today.
Yeah.
But there's still, but and I know in the spring there was a bit of a dip. So we moved house and stuff happened. But since then there's been an upward trajectory, and we've talked about how through our one-to-one sessions how that upward trajectory is going to keep going, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident it is going to. Um, it's as you often say, it's a numbers game, but
Yeah.
it's more than that. It's understand. I mean, it's understanding the numbers and getting better at it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as a coach, selling myself was probably the hardest part,
Yeah.
and actually understanding the the emotional buying system. That's not the right word, is it? You can cut that bit out.
We,
Um, the the way people buy
yeah.
um, is quite an art and a
Mm.
science, um, and it's something that I've learned, but it took a while. It took a while.
Yeah. No, cool. And first of all, I appreciate you being honest. And like you said at the earlier, why you went with me in the first place was because these interviews weren't all crazy and they were honest. So I'm happy that you were
Mm.
honest because everyone gets to different points, different places in their journey. But no, it's you've come a very long way, though, which is very cool for me to see as well. Considering if I remember that first conversation, you didn't, like you said, clueless to now, it is very cool. And like you say, now you've done it all so much, although you're a little bit behind where you want to be. I've got no doubt that if you keep running it and you slowly increase your spend, like you said, you're going to get there. But no, appreciate you being honest. That's the purpose of these. So I guess for you then, overall, aside from being a little bit behind where you want to be, like I guess what has that actually done for you, right? Because obviously you came to me at a point where, like you said, using your own words, that you were clueless to where you are now, where you've got that consistency and you are. Our conversation is how do we make more sales? The bookings and the leads are kind of we don't even think about that anymore. I guess what's that done for you personally? What's your take on that side of it?
Well, it, it's a system that works, so I don't need to worry about kind of changing the system.
Yeah,
It's there's I mean, you tinker with it and change little parts of the jigsaw, but you don't but you know that it's going to work. You know that if you follow this pattern, follow the path, um, results come, and they do
yeah,
come. They
yeah,
do come, and if they start to sort of drop off, you can go back and you can sort of see which part of the process, because you're tracking your numbers,
yeah.
you can see which part of the process is maybe not doing what it should do.
Mm,
And then you sort of take a step back and go, okay, well, if that's happening, why is that happening? Okay, I need to change this. I need to change the content I'm putting out. I need to look at my messaging,
yeah,
whatever it might be.
mm,
Um, but that's great because you're not, you're kind of, I was going to say you're not guessing. There's a, you're not guessing, but at the same time, you don't necessarily know that what you're going to change is going to be the kind of move the dial, but at
yeah,
least you're informed about what you're doing. So
yeah,
it's not just like looking around what I do. Oh, I'll just do this. You've got a very clear idea about what needs to happen in what
yeah,
part of the process. So it's a great system. It's a little bit time consuming. It does sometimes feel a bit like a hamster wheel,
yeah,
um, but but when you book new clients in, it's you know it's all worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, like I think like we were saying earlier, sales is sometimes it can get tiring, obviously speaking to leads and the calls and stuff. But like I say, once you get a few over the line and then
Mm.
you suck it up a little bit and then you go back, you have your cycles of it. So I get that. So cool. But no, I really enjoyed working with you. You've just been very easy to work with, straight to the point, followed the steps, got what you wanted out of it. So yeah, I've really enjoyed our time together. What's been, from your perspective, your favorite part about working together as well?
Well, other than having a system, whereas before I didn't, and a system that works, that I think that there's a really good community, actually. Some great people that work with you, and we come together
Yeah,
regularly, weekly when we can. Um, and that they're just you can they're all experienced coaches. Well, it's actually some of them aren't that experienced, but there's a range of coaches and a range all sorts of fields.
yeah,
Some literally in the field, um, and that it's just great to hear what they're up to and bouncing ideas around. So you're not alone in this. So we have our chats, we have our one-to-one chats.
yeah,
Brilliant, very focused. We learn what needs to, I learn what I need to be looking at, what my next steps are. But then alongside all of that, you've got these great guys, and there's a portal where you message each other from time to time. Um, but and then we have these group chats where it just feels like there's a real warmth and a
yeah.
sort of comradeship around the group, which is lovely, and it means you're not alone in this.
Yeah, nice. No, that's nice to hear as well because yeah, that's part of why I created that element of it because I think it's nice to have, like you say, that community feel. So, no, cool. I
Mm.
appreciate you sharing that. So, second to last question for you. This may not be relevant to you, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Did you have, like you said, you were pretty sure you wanted to do it before we spoke, but did you have any hesitations at all? Any objections? Anything you were unsure about before you went ahead? Or
Not about them. No, not about the marketing. Not about the strategy around selling. Um, no, I mean my hesitations were really just about my ability to do what was needed.
yeah,
Um, but then I had to put my big boy trousers on and just man up and do it, and which is what's happened. And I'm wearing shorts today, so that doesn't really make any sense. But it's no, there was there was no real hesitation in you or the process.
okay, cool. Fair enough. Cool. I appreciate that. And so I guess last question for you here then, Chris, is who would you recommend us to and why?
I think anybody who's in the sort of the coaching world, and it's even not just necessarily coaches, but people who help others. Um, if they don't have an idea about how they're going to get a pipeline of clients,
Mm,
or they've tried stuff and it hasn't really worked, if they want to sort of just to take a step back and refresh it with a new system that works, working with someone who's really responsive, really dedicated to your success, then yeah, I mean, I completely thoroughly recommend Evolute.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. And thank you again for taking the time. Jamie, like I said, I've really, really genuinely enjoyed working with you and I'm excited to see where it goes for you as you carry on ramping it up and keep using it. So yeah, but again, thank you again for your time. And for anybody watching, any details about the strategy, how it works, etc., there'll be a link in the description. But again, Chris, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Cheers, mate.